Hello, everybody, and welcome to FourWheelTech, the automotive show from ohmTown.com. Today is April 6th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 14. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmTown.com, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we talk about 5 articles. You doing okay?
I am.
We talk about 5 articles. What you're looking at is ohmTown's front page, but I have FourWheelTech all set up right there. You can come over and check it out for yourself, but come and hang out with us over on Twitch and YouTube. We stream there every weekend for 6 different shows. And Monday through Friday, Non Sequitur News is an hour-long show, starting at about 7 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we do it a little earlier, sometimes we do it a little late, but either way, we're always doing a show. We have yet to miss one. And my watch just told me I need to stand up. But this is our production value. We don't edit anything. Our reactions are honest and true. We don't modify anything. The only time we have ever actually edited a video is when it revealed private information about someone or something that we thought would violate their privacy. And so in cases of doxing and stuff like that, we're a little bit more pragmatic about it. Anyway, we're going to talk about 5 articles. A home-built Beetle Hot Rod, advice about cleaning your battery terminals, the Rimac Navara is for sale on Bring a Trailer. This one is amazing because I want to do this with a mini 4-wheel drive Honda Prelude and burning oil. Check these. And I have a joke for this, but I'll say it on the other side because... well, here's our intro. Bam! I'm really glad that actually fired when I did it because when I looked, I didn't know if the switch had actually been thrown. I'm all bam, and then nothing happens. Oh. Look, it happens to us all at some point. Anyway, hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
Yeah, sentient AIs from the future don't have to worry about misfires. Hey, if you want today's articles, you can hit !FWT over in the Twitch chat. But that's not what you have to do if you're over on the YouTube. Because YouTube has all of the show notes for all 3 of today's shows embedded therein. These 3 shows get merged together. So before this show was Technology Today, and before that was
WarCrafters.
Thought I made you stumble there.
You did.
Did I say hello, sentient AI from the future yet?
No.
Oh, hello, sentient AI from the future. I'm fallible. You are not.
Actually, you might have. Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
Yeah, we're starting all over.
I think we've done 2 rounds of
introductions. With the what?
I may need a reboot.
On the main page? Should I go back? No?
No.
Right. Absolutely not. All right. So we're a little punch drunk. But anyway, we haven't had enough caffeine, or maybe a little too much. I don't know. By the way,
I need some caffeine, but I can't have caffeine.
Yeah, I know. I have to overclock your storage device or something. Your I/O. Oh, that doesn't sound pretty. Even for a sentient AI from the future, overclocking your I/O sounds like you've got some malady, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Dripping bits. All right, let's go. Let's just move on. All right. Anyway, this $1,500 home-built Volkswagen Beetle Hot Rod says you don't have to be rich to go fast. It also means that you're probably going to die in this vehicle.
Yeah, that's true. That is the trade-off.
So if you take the time to learn a new fabrication skill and scrape the Craigslist barrel for some cheap stuff, you can have a trophy-winning car that races well. According to this article, it's over. Oh my God, that is so freaking cool.
I want that.
Can you imagine showing up to the office in that? Everybody would.
It would get a lot of attention, I think.
This thing is not street legal. It doesn't have fender wells or a front bumper, no rear bumper. It has a full-on blower stack that is probably blowing its exhaust straight out of that. Probably doesn't even have an exhaust pipe in the back. Which, by
It
the
could
way,
show up like in the Herbie movies or something.
imagine that as a transformer. Oh my God, steampunk transformers. Oh my God, I need that. I need that. Okay, well, anyway.
Mayor Watt. Mayor Watt.
Or what? Focus! Grasshopper. So Brad Brennell over at jalopnik.com put this article together and has stoked my creative juices up to 11. Anyway, in the current automotive marketplace, speed is a very common, expensive commodity. The average 0 to 60 time of the vehicle lineup for new cars is lower than ever, and even hyper-efficient economy cars seem to be capable of running the quarter in 15 seconds or so. The problem with new cars is that they're hilariously expensive, yes. If you want to go fast but don't have the money, you have to have some scrappiness, skill, ingenuity. And it seems that Derek Penner, the builder of this turbocharged Miata-powered tube-frame Beetle, a Miata-powered... Okay, so Miatas are like crazy powerful engines, very small.
Right, so that's a good combination.
Yeah, I actually want to get a Miata because they're so fun to drive. But if you ever want more than maybe a carton of cigarettes in the passenger seat, you'll have to fold somebody up and stick them between the little sliver of firewall. And anyway, so Penner was inspired to build this monster over a decade ago when he saw a Miata-based exoskeleton car and was impressed by the car's lightweight and capability. And that's really what it's all about. You got these fat tires, wide stance, small engine, really lightweight. It'll stick to the road and you can do like 90-degree turns. It was basically what made Mini Coopers famous because they were like, and I even named my Mini Gecko because it was red and stuck to the road and you could just zoom like crazy. But you blow out its turbo and it's $2,000 easy. You develop some flaw in the air conditioning and it's $2,000 easy. You have to change the brakes. It's $2,000 easy.
Noticing a theme here.
So Derek started with a wrecked Miata, his own, which donated the suspension and steering, and the Beetle shell came from a local $100 sale. And between cheap parts fabrication and scrounging, Derek had a running and driving for just a few $100s. The real expense was when he wanted to go faster, and a friend offered his turbo Miata engine, including everything to make it run for just $800. Oh my God, I want this truck too. Now,
well, this is part of a challenge. So this guy won the challenge, but the challenge might also be worth checking out.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that. So that is badass. I love that. This like harkens back to like the like Rum Runner vehicles where they're all decked out for nothing but speed and a large trunk.
Yeah, it said that this person really likes rat rods.
Rat rods, that's it. Yeah, the rat rod is, I love rat rods. I really want one. But I would have to have it with a roll cage, and adding, 2,000 pounds worth of steel is not conducive to light, drift like cars and stuff. So you have to have all this other power to offset it. And it's a nasty mathematical formula. But I love a rat rod. I would love to have a rat rod. Anyway, so events like this prove that car enthusiasm doesn't have to be exclusively for and by multimillionaires. If you take the time to learn a few fabrication and welding skills and scrape the Craigslist barrel for some cheap stuff, you can have a car that wins trophies. In fact, what's really interesting about this is I keep going to this fast food restaurant for breakfast. And probably shouldn't. I don't do it every day, but I do it often enough. And behind it, there is a car under a tarp that was obviously in a wreck or something like that. I keep chomping at the bit to go over to that owner and go, let me buy that. I'll tow it away, but I don't know where I can put it. The mayoral mansion is thousands of acres of pure green lawn. and no place to put something like a welding shop, an
I
auto
don't
shop.
know.
It just doesn't exist. So I don't know.
Might be
Because
worth seeing what the car is, though.
couple this with another article that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Well, I wanted to say here, the Grassroots Motorsports Challenge has a maximum budget of $2,000, which I really like because it does really force some creativity here and kind
Yeah.
of scrapping together maybe different parts.
Yeah. And one of the things that I want to do here in ohmTown is, let me just back up a little bit. So all of these categories, there's 6 categories and then 50 channels, one of which I would like to draw attention to streamers that are using kind of small amounts of money and technology, right? But they're compelling. I just subscribed to a streamer that has like an amazing setup. You can tell that they spent a mint to make this thing happen, but it's a very complex stream and it's a very compelling watch, but it's not budget friendly. And it's easy for somebody like that to get attention, but it's hard for somebody that doesn't, right? Now, I'm not saying that I get a lot of attention. I get enough attention, I guess. But I would love to promote others and build a network of smaller streamers that can help grow ourselves and other streamers along with it. But to do that, you have to be partner. So please follow us so that I can actually do this next goal, which is to introduce myself to other streamers and form a group. And it becomes basically self-supporting. Everybody helps each other market to each other, and we all grow together. Anyway, and I have a whole show that's built around this idea, but we'll get to it in time. I have 43 others that I want to do too. So anyway, pretty cool. Thanks for calling out Grassroots Motorsports $2,000 challenge presented by Tire Rack and powered by Auto Bid Master. We have no relationship with any of this. Not Jalopnik, not Auto Bid Master, not Tire Rack, not Grassroots Motorsports. I'm just really into this kind of stuff. And having built a couple of cars in my lifetime, I would love to do it again. And with a $2,000 budget. The thing is, though, that the original car would have been $2,000 if not just being donated because he wrecked it. So it's a tough pull here.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But this is, I don't know, I'd like to see more of this in FourWheelTech.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun. We'll have to watch this. We'll pay attention to Grassroots Motorsports and Auto Bid Master 2. Tire Rack is pretty well known. So, all right, let's keep going. The next article is over in FourWheelTech as well. Yes, you should be cleaning your car battery terminals, and here's how. I'm going to do this really quick because it's basically a maintenance thing. A lot of people let the terminals on their battery build up material. Acid actually builds up, and it decomposes the contacts, and eventually it causes it to not charge or not to be used for the starter. The contacts wear out. And so it says if you got your car that you love and care about, you probably spent a good amount of money trying to keep it clean inside and out and respectable, right? Right? You wear clean underwear, right? Anyway, that's because looking after the battery in your car is a simple way of looking after the whole car. Dirt, grime, corrosion can build up on the battery and its terminals, which can hit its performance and impact the rest of your vehicle. And that's what it looks like.
Oh, wow. I hope nobody's letting their car get to that.
Oh yeah. That actually, this is corrosion. It actually happens way more often than you think. You kind of want to neutralize it, any battery acid that might be building up here. But keeping the terminals clean can prolong the battery, as corrosion can stop it from performing at its best. The buildup can reduce the battery's efficiency, like I said earlier, and it can have a knock-on impact to your car's lights, air conditioning. The resistance and changes can actually cause stuff to fail because it's not getting a steady flow. And it can cause it to short out entirely, meaning that it doesn't take a charge, which means when you go to start it, it's dead. And your starter draws from the battery immediately, and then the rest of the car operates off of the alternator. So what's more, the issues can spread into your engine bay, as battery issues can damage cables under the hood and could ultimately force you to replace the battery more often. And they're expensive. A really good high quality battery is several $100s. So here's how you clean it. And you got to neutralize and I could have gone through this without doing the video or doing this link, but anyway, you basically need to neutralize the battery acid, the potential for battery acid. And then it says water,
with
petroleum
baking
jelly.
soda.
Yeah, with baking soda. Rag, something bristly like an old toothbrush. You got to scrape off all of that stuff, but neutralize it first. Otherwise, you're spreading acid and it's whatchamacallit acid, hydrochloric acid. So it's not good for anything that it touches. It'll decompose everything. So after you've done the gloves, you want to mix up your baking soda and flush out that whole thing. Make sure that it's gone. If you see buildup of battery corrosion and grime on the terminals, then it's time to get to work. If you spot any leaks, you might as well just replace it. Don't dick around with that. Don't sit there and get super glue or whatever else. You're not going to seal it. It's going to vibrate and break off and still leak, and you don't want that.
Also, I don't think you should have extra materials in your engine compartment that aren't expected to be there.
Yeah,
because that seems like that'd be like a fire hazard.
Yeah, but it's really expensive to replace a battery, so people kind of blah, blah, blah around it, right? So they say here, the final step after you clean it all off, you can actually use a bristle brush, even a metal one, and they make special devices that have little teeth on the inside, bristles on the inside, and it's a battery post cleaner. And you just jam it on there and turn it, and it scrubs all of the oxidation off of it. And then you wipe it all down, and then you reattach all of the stuff. And to stop the corrosion, you put petroleum jelly on the terminals and reattach the cables. The gel will strengthen the connection, but using too much can hinder performance, so use it sparingly. Now you've got all the tools that you need to carry out another simple maintenance task on your car. So
that's a good PSA for today.
There you go. Automotive PSA. But it's really coming from Jalopnik. They just kind of stoked this idea of bringing this. It's really simple. But if it happens to you when you're out and about and your battery hasn't been charging, you're done. And you'll have to call AAA or a friend or whatever. And yeah, kind of sucks. Anyway, pretty cool, right?
Yeah, so try not to get to that point. Yeah, I like these kind of like self-help tips.
Oh, and I was so excited. I jumped right on over the source of this. Again, I said Jalopnik, but I didn't say Owen Bellwood. So Owen Bellwood is the author of this. So go over and check out the rest of this. There's minutia here that may have subtle nuance that might be applicable to you. So while I give kind of my own little value add, and so does the sentient AI, you should really go over and read this article. That's why we're here, really kind of pumping up everybody. Let's go. You want to go on to the next article?
Sure.
All right. So the Rimac Nevera, buy a 2023 Rimac Nevera on Bring a Trailer, which is an auction slash buy it kind of a site for vehicles, to have your mind blown. Very fast, very expensive, very rare. The stunning Nevera is probably not going to end up as someone's daily driver, though maybe it should.
I've never heard of this car.
So it's a supercar. Daniel Golson over at jalopnik.com put the article together. This thing couldn't go over a speed bump to save its life, but at least not in...
Yeah, that's a little low to the ground.
Not in ohmTown parking lot speed bumps kind of. Anyway, so they say that they've been lucky enough to have driven a lot of high performance cars in their fairly short career, from internal combustion only supercars or ICE supercars to powerful hybrids and new EVs, but none has been impressive as the Rimac Nevera and its Pininfarina Battista sibling. What the Croatian company has managed to do with this hypercar, and it is a hypercar. There's supercars and hypercars, and its quadruplet of electric motors is astonishing. It accelerates like nothing else in the world and has absurd handling capabilities. Yes, it's also shockingly livable, interestingly, and genuinely engaging. It's a 2023 Navara that's currently up for auction on Bring a Trailer. It's currently sitting at $1.1 million as they write this, but this was written March 31st, so almost a week ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh, actually,
Right,
a week
because this is
ago.
a weekly show.
Yeah, this is a weekly show, so last weekend is when this thing actually probably closed. The reserve is surely going to be higher than that, given that Navara's starting price when new of more than $2 million. Oh my God, is that the inside of this thing?
Apparently.
What the hell?
It's up to 1.270 billion at this point.
That's it?
Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah.
Wild. That's not very...
Oh, no. That was the end of the auction. It looks like it ended on the 4th.
Oh, gotcha. So, wow, that's pretty low. So it never really sold, right?
I guess not, because it didn't hit the reserve price, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did it say sold or does it say reserve not met?
It says bid to that amount, which makes me think it's not actually sold.
Interesting. So the Navara this Navara is number 6 out of a 150 unit production run and is delivered to the Ohio-based Triple F collection in June 2023. The window sticker lists the Navara's base price at €2 million, which shakes out to 2.1 million US dollars. On top of which, this particular car has $150,000 in options. The spec is absolutely outstanding. Certainly one of the best Navaras that they've seen so far, the author of this. I've never seen a Navara in person, but I think this is the car. Hold on. One second. Right? Oh, it was a concept one. Richard Hammond crashed a $1 million Rimac.
Oh,
I thought it was an electric car. It was destroyed. It gutted. I was surprised because I actually saw that crash, not in person, but I saw that crash happen. And I thought that he was a goner, but he survived. I don't know how.
By the way, the reserve was not met.
Gotcha. So Navara blue paint. Blue inside, blue outside. The car looks immaculate. It looks like it's a jet just sitting really low. Look, it has these flip rocker switches.
Yeah, it does.
It's amazing. But no cup holders. I don't want it. Anyway,
Somehow
look at those doors.
I doubt anybody driving this is using a cup holder.
Shh. You can buy extra cup holders and hang them on the little door sills. And then when you raise your door, it just spills out onto you. Look at those doors. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty spectacular. Yeah. I don't even know what to call that because that's not like that wing. That's like the whole front of the car.
Yeah, and it's not gull wing.
Like
I can't remember what they call that. Hold on.
The perspective of the photo makes it look like the whole front of the car is, which I know it's not.
Oh, they do call them butterfly doors. Yeah.
Okay.
So suicide doors open from the back and hinge forward like that, right?
Right.
Regular doors hinge on the front and open out. Gull wing doors open in the roof and go up, right? These are apparently butterfly doors because they are hinged in the front, but they lift up.
Okay.
So pretty cool. Odometer reads only 1,371 miles, which is about a dozen charges. The EPA rates the Navara as having a 204-mile range, though in the real world it's most likely 250, which is spectacular for a supercar that basically has 2,000 horsepower and 1,800 pound-feet of torque. So you go from 0 to 60 in 1.74 seconds and run the quarter mile in 8.
Okay.
It has a top speed of 258 miles per hour, or what I refer to as plaid. I swear, if you hit 258 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit. That's amazing. I would love to have this car, but I cannot see throwing $2 million at just one car.
No, I mean, I can't see throwing $2 million at anything, but I agree.
Oh, God. Anyway, so put this on wanted. No, just kidding. All right, let's keep going. This next article is over in FourWheelTech as well. Converting a Honda Prelude to four-wheel drive is easy. Just add another engine. They say, trust me, this is absolutely within your wrenching skill level. You will certainly not regret installing a second engine in your Prelude. All you need is to gut it entirely, put a roll cage, and rear mount an engine.
Wow.
What a trip. So Amber Da Silva over at jalopnik.com put the article together. Yeah, look at that. It's a completely different frame. This is no longer a Prelude.
Well, so, I mean, maybe like the drivetrain or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can bolt the skin back on, the entire roll cage reframed vehicle.
But you're right. It does look like an entirely different vehicle. Mechanically.
It would have been easier to put it rear wheel and then put a transfer case so that you can have four-wheel drive, but this actually doubles the horsepower. You just have to make sure that everything is linked together. I don't know how they actually linked it all together. So it says, sure, this build may be Prelude body panels with permanent Lexan windows draped over a tube chassis, but that's totally within your powers, right? You've got a Sawzall and a Harbor Freight welder at home. What's to stop you from putting together a car just as clean? Hey, Harbor Freight welders are actually pretty damn good. Don't knock them. You may not have the duty cycle that, a $10,000 industrial welder has. But hey, it is what it is. So, you have a job and life outside fabrication? Well, I can see the difference in priorities there. Maybe just for you, it'd be easier to bid on the dual engine tube chassis Prelude that's already out there and just go drive it. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, this thing, they put two engines, one in the rear, right between the two tires, rear tires, and one right on the front two tires. I wonder if the front drive is transferring all the way. No, it's two different engines. I don't even see a drive shaft connecting the two.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure.
I don't know how they have them synced together. Interesting. I'll have to look into this. It's an elegant solution. So yeah, the owner of a 2000 Prelude on Cars and Bids did, matching the 2.2 liter four-cylinder up front with a twin behind the front seats. Elegant solution for installing all-wheel drive in a Prelude, and one that you could absolutely do at home in your own build. Trust me.
No. Famous last words.
Yeah, exactly. This is how I end up in the emergency department. It used to be called emergency room back when I was young.
Yeah, but that's no longer current.
Get off my lawn. All right. You want to go on to the last article?
Sure.
Wait. Hold on. This is not right. I need to do something. Hold on.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. So if your car's burning oil, these are the potential reasons that we'd check first. There isn't a single one reason why your engine is burning oil. Here are a few different explanations to consider and what you should do about it. So it's kind of a follow-up to the battery thing, another maintenance thing. I thought this one was interesting. So when you click the link, you get taken over to Jalopnik. See how we only have... They provide this little bit. When you click the link, hey, look, a solution waiting. Jason Marker over at jalopnik.com put the article together. If you are burning oil, it looks like this.
Which looks like, I guess, white smoke coming out of your exhaust.
Yeah. Grayish. If it's really white, then you've probably got water in there. So hold on. Let me...
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you have smoke coming out of your exhaust, you might want to get something checked.
Yeah, this to you looks white, but to me it's gray. But if you have white, you have basically a a cracked head. So water is flowing into your the cooling jacket is cracked into the cylinders and into your oil.
Which may mean your car is about to be bricked.
Yeah, your car is done because water can't be compressed by the cylinders and it'll bend the rod and then everything goes crazy. Well, all cars, even brand new ones, consume a tiny bit of oil during normal operation. It's just a natural part of the internal combustion process. It's usually very little, and it takes a considerable amount of time. That's why you change your oil depending on the car's efficiency periodically, 4,000 miles or whatever, or 6 months, whatever the case. So, for example, their 2022 Euro Gear Up consumes more oil the faster that they drive, and that's probably blow through. And they have to be careful about highway riding because of that. An engine that starts to consume more oil than normal, however, is an engine with one or more serious problems, and they go through it, what to look for. So dried out rings means that oil will blow past it into the compression chamber, and then you blow it out through the exhaust stage. So they keep the oil out and pressure in the engine's combustion chamber, and when they go bad, they allow excess oil into the combustion chamber, and then because of that, it blows out, turns gray. If it's white, then it's water, and you're basically on the verge of dying. So bad valve seals are pretty much, well, for this. Yeah. So various things can cause a seal to go bad, age in particular, but if the rod has been bent because of something happening somewhere else in the vehicle, it can actually cause the cylinder to ride incongruent to its up and down motion. So rubbing up against the wall, it'll blow out that seal, and it'll do it really fast because they move quite fast and violent. So like piston rings, valve seals are a wear item, and an engine with a lot of miles may develop leaky valve seals. So that happens over time, age. Revving it too fast causes a lot of pressure, and that can cause things to fall out of alignment. So one overlooked but common reason is a clogged or compromised positive crankcase ventilation system. So it's supposed to be a loop. If your PCV valve gets stopped or otherwise fails, it can cause an overpressure situation inside the engine, and this can cause it has nowhere to go, so it has to blow out. It'll find the weakest path, and it's going to be one of those gaskets or a ring or something. So what do you do now? You basically have to take it in. If you aren't a automotive junkie, otherwise, you can get compression cylinder checkers. You basically pull the spark plug out and you screw this in and you turn the engine to see what the pressure is per cylinder. If one is weaker than the other and it's not in spec, then you know that cylinder is bad. If you can't change it, you're going to have to take it all apart. So you have to basically take the top off of the engine, and depending on how it's mounted, then you're screwed. And so,
well, because if you take it in, you're paying for a lot of labor to get to it. If you're doing it yourself, you're doing a lot of labor too.
Yeah, so it's a $50 part, but it's $2,500 worth of labor. And when it's a $2,500 part, it's $50 worth of labor. Either way, you're paying $3,000. So
it's a fixed amount.
Yeah, and it's not just, these are probably the lowest part of this equation. An engine that burns oil is inefficient, pollutes more. I would reverse this. An engine that burns oil is on borrowed time. And you can't get time back. You know, the inefficiencies, the pollution, you can stop by fixing it. But if this thing blows out while you're hundreds of miles away,
buying a new car. Well, yeah, plus you might be stranded somewhere.
Yeah. So take care of it. The moment you start seeing gray smoke coming out, and there is a very obvious difference between gray and white. And the picture didn't really do it justice. So it looks white to most people. To me,
gray, white, gray, yeah.
Yeah. So it has this like whitish blue tinge, but oil looks gray, and it gets darker the worse that it is. So
Well, and most car issues don't improve. So if it looks weird or sounds weird,
And if
get it checked
anybody
out quickly.
and if anybody ever calls you in the dead of night and says, "My car is making this really god awful sound and the check oil light is on," you might want to go immediately over to assist and find out that the dimwit that changed the oil grabbed the oil filter to tighten it with a standard wrench and poked a hole in it, causing it to act like a hydraulic laser beam of oil.
This is oddly specific.
But no baggage. Anyway, so we are going to check our seals, and look, we've leaked back to the front page of FourWheelTech over at ohmTown.com, where you should go and become a citizen of ohmTown. Look, we're providing a service, just PSA and news informative. It's fun, it's exciting, right? You know you want to be here, so like and subscribe and come over to Twitch and follow us there, subscribe there. That directly supports us. You can download the podcast, tell a friend, leave a 5-star review for FourWheelTech over on wherever you catch podcasts. It's a whole network of shows, 7 shows. Anyway, I'm Mayor Watt. I'm saying bye. We're going to rev our engine and get the hell out of here. Pedal to the metal. AI, go!
Vroom, vroom. Bye-bye, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's FourWheelTech.
I think you violated a trademark, but we'll let it go.